if he was falling in love, he had to get permission from the family. This young man seemed to be trying to work around the system because there's been a lot of he's bidding to come for the young lady to open the door, and she's saying, "Oh no, I can't do that.
My dad can fix you if you
That's
don't."
right. So it's talking about I guess a East End Romeo and Juliet story, right? The next night. But that's part of the job, right? The job is to be able to give people a sense of what is happening. So one of the things we're pivoting to our Library of Congress performance is to focus on not just entertainment, but to give a snapshot of Cayman past, Cayman present, and Cayman future. And so we have songs that reflect that, songs that we have written, but we also want to pay homage to the songs that came before us, that gave us this opportunity to be recognized as a genre of music, right? And it's difficult to find time to quote unquote squeeze it in, because we do, accepting what it is, we live in a society that is developing an appreciation for musicians. We grew up in a generation, some of us, generations that, if you said you wanted to be a musician, that was kind of you need to find something else to do.
Try to find somebody to do your time.
Right, exactly. And
that's what we told the children.
Right. Yeah. And we recently buried a say farewell, and I think there's a special ceremony tomorrow at Harkwell for Benville Heights. And in thinking, what he did in the visual arts side of things, and moving that forward, with the style of art that he did, people just didn't get it, didn't understand it, and so he had to be running out so far ahead of the rest of the society. He had a vision, an understanding, and he didn't let society dictate to him that you should do something else with your talent and draw. Be an architect, he left that for his brother to do, right, our good friend. But he stuck to his art, and it was hard. And if you look at the musicians who have come before us, we are honored to have Lamy as part of our band. It's hard. There are generations of musicians who try to make this a career in Cayman, and it's just not valued here the same way.
Yeah. And maybe when you return from your tour, if I say this improperly or I'm misguided, certainly I want to be corrected, because I don't want to do things improper, right? But I don't say with apology in that we as a society, as what Sam shared, need to get to a space where we start to respect. As you were sharing, I was thinking, forget her name, the Mexican artist, maybe 5 years or so, 7 years since she just passed. All of a sudden she's celebrated as why do we have to wait, right? And we all may have a particular view as to what it is. But in the Cayman context, why can't we celebrate now? Let's not wait, celebrate now the talent that we have. You're on tour, you're taking us global like our seafarers did, but we're here. And to you, Ms. Karen, the idea that as I listen to you, Sam, speak, maybe I don't understand the music and use the wrong words, but the harmony that you brought, that balance to each other, you sounded phenomenal.
Thank you.
Right? As you always do. And yet, for some reason in this country, wow, we don't even appreciate our own. Let's change that. Let's do it now.
To be frank, it is changing and evolving, and for that we're grateful. And I think part of the reason that we're experiencing that is, like I was saying earlier, we are cognizant of the watering down or erosion of traditional Cayman culture. Of course, we recognize culture is always evolving, but I think Caymanians are grasping for something that they can call their own and identify with, and say this is uniquely and purely Caymanian. This is who I am, and I think Swanky Kitchen Band stands in that gap and fills that void.
Admirably. Can I use the word displace? We're not, water. Benil, to you, if I might, that bridge and then into Jar, that bridge between yesteryear and today, that melding of two people who may not even be from here, have now joined union and produced a product. It's like a math class. And there's this thing that is here, right? Or that union of one who's here, ancestral, and one who's just come. But we're here. How do we get us who are here, irrespective of whether we're generational, we can go back, 500, 600, right? Or we just, the ink not even dry on the piece of paper that Mr. Manderson signed. Again, to understand, I want us to be united. This is where bread and butter, where head meal, late at night. Some of us don't have no appreciation for it. And those who champion that, oh, there's a problem, especially if they're from here, they're xenophobic. They're not from here, they're sellouts. And yet, I don't get that. And yet I look around this table and I see everybody look just alike. I mean, I even feel handsome in this group. And my hair feels less as long as beneath, right? So how do we get that? Because there's something about, we shared this before, right? And I listened to your CD, your last project. You're in the studio. There's something about what you bring to the table in your own right, and then as part of this group, it's a strong compliment. But we need to speak with one voice, and we need to sound alike because we are one.
Yeah, I mean, it takes the society and Cayman in general just rallying around the arts and what everyone does, because if the art is reflected in the society and people start to take pride in it, it changes everything. It'd be nice to live in a Cayman where you drive in your car and somebody drive across you and you hear a Cayman song playing out. You're like, yeah,
Okay.
Or you go shopping, you're like, wow,
I want to ask, and because your tour isn't about taking Cayman there, it's about us reminding of what we have.
That's right.
So when you return, there's a welcome, there's a celebration. It's not just passing and go, oh, a pastor or son, oh, that must be the daughter, right? But it's said with such respect and reverence. So with that, then, I'll say this again, not to offend anybody, but I consciously, in case you don't realize it, when I write something, I want to write as best as I can. I want that grammar to be correct. I want the perfect word, because I want to pay attention to, what I do. But when I talk, I'm even more conscious that W and the V is all one and the same. My daughter used to give me alliterations where she used all W's or all V's, make it sound, right? But we're being disrespected. My friends who work in the legal profession in particular are being told by their colleagues and senior partners, oh, you sound too Caymanian. They should hire me. So with that, Jared, you have such a Caymanianness, an eloquence, your diction, elocution, and everything is crisp, but yet you can't mistake who you are, who you're from, where you. Yet that's a beautiful thing.
Funny thing is, because when I was in college, people would ask me that same thing, and I told them one time, I said, well, that's okay, I'm unique in that sense that there's not a lot of people like me, but if you look around the way someone else talks in Boston, it's 3-4 million people at a time that could be talking like that.
It sound the same.
Yeah.
And so I would liken that to product differentiation, new market segmentation. You got this thing, everybody got a thing, but you want it to look a little different so you can attract. In school, I bet you had the same experience I had. You do the presentation, but we like to hear you read the song.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I made you popular with the women. I'm not saying that at all. but oh, you see the trouble that boy can get me. But I want us who are listening to be like what Mr. Elvis did earlier. Respect, appreciate, value, celebrate, travel, and participate. Because there are many in Cayman who sing, just angelically, but very few have your gifting.
You're really making me blush.
No. I want, but thank you. And I say that because in I call it the house arrest we're all under from 2020, right? And the willingness for us to just acquiesce without question. I deliberately and consciously got a chance to interact with friends who allowed me to see Cayman anew through their lens. As much as I enjoyed going out Barca, sitting up in the dikes, you didn't do it enough. And then you got them to say, look, that's a particular bird only here. And I go, really? I see that bird all the time. I didn't appreciate it.
Right.
We're not appreciating our own. So before I ask Mr. Devon, through you, how do we get us to appreciate who you are as a group, who we are as a people, why our sound, even though it may be similar to other folk songs, is so unique and uniquely Caymanian. And when we celebrate and champion that, we're asking for national pride and unity. It's not xenophobic. When, like the example I disclosed earlier, where the old man said to the young fella, "Boy, sit down, stop smelling your rank." When we do that, that is a reason we're doing that. If you can't hear, like Prime Minister Motley said, if you can't hear, you can feel.
Right.
She said a little bit in her Bayesian way, but How do we get our people to do that?
I think it has to be a collaborative effort coming from all facets of society, from the home, from the education system, from the political sphere, everything. I think there needs to be some kind of harmonious effort to ensure that Cayman culture, not just Swanky Kitchen Band, but Cayman culture and all things that represent all things Cayman are put together in a way that we can all it can resonate with all of us in different ways.
Right.
I just think we are at a stage in Cayman where we're recognizing that more, and I'm very optimistic that things will change and are changing. I think every society goes through some kind of growing pains, and I think as far as creatives and the arts, we have definitely had our fair share of that. But when I look at, people from the generation after me, even like my nieces and nephews, and what they're aspiring to, and we can say with confidence to most of them, yes, that is a possibility, because of the way the world has changed, technology, everything. So I would like to just thank those that have been supporting us so far, and to spread the word about Swanky Kitchen Band and Kitchen Band music, and we all just do our part to support each other as not just Caymanians but everyone living here in Cayman, because if all of us have success, then society is better.
That's right. And the success of one can be celebrated by all and used as an example to inspire, so that there's another success and another success.
Precisely.
Before I ask Mr. Johnson, Devon, maybe through you, how do we get our people recognizing that our seafarers travel and they return with family from afar, recognizing that there are people here who have met that special one that has been the spark of their eye, and not understanding sometimes that you think that you okay, man, we don't need to deny the other heritage of that spouse, but somehow we can allow that to change how we sound. I say that to share. We saw two friends. With their consent, I can share a little bit. One family, two foreign nationals who've raised their families here. The other is one foreign national initially married to a Caymanian fella, right? And their children, you think I sound Caymanian? The pride that they have, not just the children speaking, the parents, the way they've embraced. They get to celebrate their, sort of other heritage, but the love, the joy, the appreciation, sometimes are more so than some of us. How do we get that? How do we get our people to not disrespect ourselves and our own?
Well, to me it comes from knowing your value as a Caymanian, as a national of your country, and do not apologize for being where you're from. You have to cherish where you come from, what that means, what that sounds like, and to know that, we are unique in this world and we are of value in this world. Yeah. I always remember something that Gordon Solomon said. There was a question, how do you know somebody is Caymanian, right? And he said, they sound Caymanian, right? I mean, it's not completely true, but I understand the depth of what he's saying, because once you value who you are and you operate yourself as somebody coming from within the community, it will come forward. Yeah. If you value everything about that community and respect everything, it will come off from somebody looking at you and hearing you. They will know where you're from. Yeah. So it's just a matter of valuing yourself and valuing your country and just being unapologetically who you are based on where you were born or where you live from.
Generations that laid that foundation for us that we have to respect at the end of the day, because all those values that they have left, it's up to us to uphold every one of them.
Carry yourself with pride, seek to unify, and champion all that's better. So as we go into the break, I want to thank you all. If Mr. Johnson wishes to add to that, and then Mr. Rose, if it's okay to ask about the tour, give us some of the dates. Thanks, and I'll promote a little where you going. Would you do the closer?
Sure. That's after the break, or
no? We can do that now because
okay, close. Okay.
I got kicked on the. That's not true.
Okay, so yeah, folks. So again, we're so honored to be here today to be able to confirm that we leave next week Wednesday to head on tour. We want to say a huge thank you to our sponsors. This all has been arranged by the Center for Cultural Vibrancy, and Dr. John Lohman has just opened up so many doors for us. Their aim is to connect cultures to the world, and it's one of those situations where people see value in what we have here in Cayman. They recognize the cultural and heritage value of the music and the uniqueness of it, and it has made it easy for them to sell us to promote us and to convince the festival organizers that this is something unique that your audiences will want to hear. So Cayman Airways got behind us. First on board was actually CNCF, as they often are, with a grant. And we've also received sponsorship from both the Ministry of Border Control, Labor and Culture. So thank you to Minister Seymour and team. And the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Heritage. So thank you to Minister Rankin and team. And of course, our travel sponsors, Cayman Airways, because we're going to get there to the States and back via our national flight carrier. So don't know if they've been serving Swanky in the plane when we're going, but
Carry on,
switching up switch up the punch for the Swanky. And they're going to be bringing a lot of Caymanians with us to the States to see this. So our first show is in Providence, Rhode Island, on First Works. It's a little food truck festival that goes on a weekly basis there, so that's really neat. And we're driving up in our bus up to Lowell, Massachusetts, which is just outside of Boston, where these gentlemen cut their teeth at Berkeley. That's, of course, shout out to Benil and to Jared, our Berkeley graduates. Then July 31st, we're heading to Washington, D.C. to the Library of Congress, a really special performance there. For historical purposes and really representing Cayman's heritage. Then we have another show on the same day in the evening the show is called Global Sounds on the Hill. It's at the Old Navy Hospital in Washington, D.C. as well. So that's going to be more of a high-energy curated performance. And then, the one that we're hoping to see all of our Caymanians out at will be Global Fest at Lincoln Center. It's a whole summer festival that's going on, and it's a free show right there at Lincoln Center, downtown New York. It's quite amazing. We're very honored to be there. And then we're heading back to where technically it all started. Our first performance last year was at the Blue Ridge Music Center in Galax, Virginia. Dr. Lohman took us there for a tour. It's a huge museum paying homage to the old time and bluegrass traditions, and it has the evolution of the banjo and the evolution of the instrumentation, etc. And so we have musicians who come there every day to perform, and so they made us perform last year, and we impromptu, and they've invited us back to actually be a scheduled performance this year.
Awesome.
So instead of crashing the show. So Cayman, thank you for being behind us. We know that it's been a long journey for all Caymani musicians, and we want we feel your appreciation, we feel your love, we feel your support behind us, and we're looking forward to seeing you all out there, as many of you as possible in New York. You have Caymanians with New York connections, relatives, family. Let them know that on Saturday, the 3rd of August, we will be in New York at Global Fest. You don't have to pay anything to go into the show. It's a free show at the Lincoln Center, and I think it's going to be a great opportunity to showcase Cayman. So it's a really important stage, really important event, and we're super excited.
Right. So in addition to the 7, your other band members are joining to the full entourage.
We'll have the full entourage. We're C less right now. We'll have the C mores with us. We'll have the C mores come in. So
Mr. Wilson, the Seymour boys, as somebody referred to them.
Most importantly, we have our sound man, Mr. Shem Tibbetts, coming along with us. So big shout out to AI. Shem is the guy, and so it's a really special performance. It's the first time we're going back to New York. We'll be minus Greg and John and Stano,
Stano,
but they'll
yeah.
be in our hearts for sure, and we'll definitely be having a grand time. So thank you again to all our sponsors. So we think we're going to send you your audience out. Can't have the next guest waiting any longer, but we'll send you out with what you all love the most about Swanky. Less talk, more music. Yeah. So thank you for having us today, Dwayne.
Just want, if I may
Yes,
quickly,
ma'am,
just
of
want to
course.
remind everyone to please follow us on our social media pages, Instagram and Facebook at SwankyKitchenBand.com, and also on our website, SwankyKitchenBand.com, which lists all of the dates of our performances. And we're going to be sharing a lot of content while we're away. So just, get those likes up, share, and let's interact and have fun.
There you go. This is where you can legally follow people without being stalkers.
That's just important, get those numbers up, right?
Yeah.
Like, when it can appeal, seriously, like, you don't have to watch us every day, but just hit that like button, hit that adding us, because when venues want to decide whether to invite you to be a part of their performance, Dr. Lohman has been able to leverage a lot of relationships to make this happen, right?
Yeah.
But if our social media is doing the talking, the numbers talk, right? Then this is a business.
It's all in the numbers, man.
It's all in the numbers,
Yeah.
right? So if we have all of our Caymanian people following us, that gets us into the tens of thousands of people, right? And that builds momentum. So please follow not just Swanky Kitchen Band, but your other Caymanian musicians. Like them, build their algorithms. That's how you let them know, instead of just coming up and saying, "Yeah, I love your music," follow it, show it, tangible.
It
Doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you anything to hit that button. Follow.
Yes.
Thanks. So take us out. See if people understand what the song is, recognize it. We won't say what it is yet.
Oh boy. I'll tell you what it is, because they probably won't recognize this one called Kathmandu.
Okay.
2, 3, 4. Hey!
Swanky come for you. And this is where you can be a fan and not a what the thing was.
We shall not say.
We shall not say. This is like West Bay, what we do stays here. Well, thank you all. May the good Lord take you safely, protect you, guide you, bring you back, and may the country be united through the music, through the song, through the food, and through the fellowship.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm honored.
Thank you.
To
We
everyone
received
at
that
Radio
blessing.
Cayman.
All right. Well,
Radio Cayman has always been a great supporter of local music, so it's really a pleasure to be here.
Yes.
Radio Cayman. The one thing that means Cayman.
It's Radio Cayman. That's Cayman.
All right. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sterling Green.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet. Because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Discover your dream home with Cayman National's home loan. Get up to 95% financing, repayment up to 40 years, and just a 0.5% commitment fee. Your interest rate? Depending on your risk factors, it'll be fixed or variable. Plus, you get a pre-approved credit card. This is a limited time offer. Dial 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Celebrate the RAM Water Tank Cayman Anniversary Special. Get your hands on their 225-gallon rectangular water tanks, plus 600 and 1,000-gallon options. On Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, 2,000-gallon tanks delivered directly to you. Their water tanks boost superior strength, crafted through rotational molding. No high-pressure stress, no crackling, just long-lasting durability. Made from top-quality, linear low-density polyethylene. Their tanks withstands harsh conditions with exceptional strength and impact resistance. Order your RAM water tank today. Call 925-3822. RAM water tanks, built to last a lifetime.
The Ministry of Education and the Passport and Corporate Services Office remind all students traveling to and from school overseas to ensure their passports are valid for both travel and entry into their destination country. Passports should be renewed at least 10 weeks before departure, and any necessary student visas must be obtained. For passport services, contact the Passport and Corporate Services Office at 649-7678. For Ministry of Education scholarship inquiries, contact scholarships@gov.ky. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Education and the Passport and Corporate Services Office.
The sun is out and summer vibes are in at the Miss Global International Pop-Up Fashion Show with sustainable couture, sizzling island vibes swimwear, and evening wear. Saturday, July 27th at the Wharf Restaurant, starting at 6 p.m. and ends with Dancing Under the Stars. Tickets are only $25 and includes canapes and a drink of your choice. Let's beat the summer heat with a night of fun and meet our 2024 Miss Global International Cayman Islands and Miss Global International Philippines. Tickets available on Eventpro.
Mango season, you gotta love it. The Cayman Islands National Museum is pleased to feature Look Ya, the family-friendly Mango Fest at the museum. Saturday, July 20th from 4 to 8 p.m. Purchase mangoes and other products by local artisans and specialty vendors, local food, live music, mango peeling, and eating competition. Take in all the sweet and unique flavors of the long, round, Julie mango, and so many more. Look Ya at the museum on the waterfront. Saturday, July 20th from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Look Ya is proudly sponsored by the Cayman Islands Department of Tourism. July is Laundry Month at Brand Source Home Gallery. Get ready to save big with 15% off on all washers and dryers, both domestic and commercial, and 30% off on selected laundry items.
Is your washer or dryer on its last spin? Now's the time to upgrade. From GE, LG, Samsung, Beko, Electrolux to Frigidaire, save up to 30% on laundry appliances during the month of July.
Visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive in Industrial Park or call 623-5000.
Check out brandsourcecayman.com for more deals. Voted Best Appliance Store of 2023.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At Valley Med Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Boddentown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit Valley Med Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Boddentown. Live happy, live healthy with Valley Med Pharmacy.
The mission of the National Conservation Council and the Department of Environment is to ensure our islands consider responsible use of our natural resources while preserving our native species and habitats for future generations. Learn more at conservation.ky.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. And thanks for the phenomenal opportunity, the true honor and privilege to have been able to sit with many of the band members of the Swanky Kitchen Band, talk about the upcoming tour. And if you can, go on their website, their social media and the like, find out which one of those work for you, be a part of the fan base and travel with them. Hop a Cayman Airways flight up to New York if possible. But publicly also to Mr. Kenneth Ebanks, as we all know him, Cletus, for being so, as expected, gracious and yielding time to allow us to talk to them, recognizing how important our discussion is relative to the planning statement. But that's that graciousness, that hospitality that we extend to one another. Thank you for that, sir. How are you?
Good afternoon, Dwayne.
People say, what are you laughing about? It's our Friday, people. Well, if it's a Monday, we laugh the same way.
And thanks for the invite once again.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Radio Cayman. Good afternoon, Cayman. When I say Cayman, I'm referring to all three islands. So.
Yeah. Thank you, because sometimes people don't, even though we generalize that, even though our friends on the back, but we mean all three. It's three islands but one people.
Yep.
So, and this planning initiative, review, public consultation, whatever, is for all three islands. It may be peculiar for a district in relation to what they might want, but it informs and instructs policy for the country.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. And again, I don't say this lightly, and I hope that in saying it, it will encourage, if not all of us, certainly more of us, to recognize that we have something to offer. You, as former director of planning, and then the other role you served after that, you still have a desire to contribute. You still have the ability, thank God, to do so, but you're also willing to give, like many, a few hours in public meetings, facilitating the discussion. Then you got to go back and you got to do work to make that meeting meaningful. Mm-hmm. and then come back. So maybe more of us could be encouraged to do likewise, and not just wait in the waiting room. Actually come and, be on the pitch, referee the game, be the goalkeeper, be the cheerleader.
I think it's a bit too close.
Yeah? No. Let me focus, because we don't know how confident is that.
Yeah.
If she says it's okay.
If she says okay.
Yeah. If she says it's okay. All right, we're here. I got a lot on my mind and a lot I want to do, and I got all the time in the world.
Okay, well, I don't think we're going fishing this weekend.
No?
No.
Hey, with that bad, man, you don't want to bring me back again?
No. I got a couple of things I really need to do around the boat, so.
Yeah. No.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that invite. It was a fantastic, most enjoyable time.
And like I told your brother, that if you weren't sick and you could have been on the road, I'm sure we would have caught that record-breaking fish.
Boy, you gotta be the son of Solomon. No, but hey, at least I got to pull it. and thanks for sharing the fish, because my son really enjoyed all the scorch. It was, I watched him cook it up, the man, and that was delicious.
Good.
Yeah. Thanks for cooking it up, and it was good. It was good. Good fellowship, good people.
Okay. Yeah, and you did an excellent job with, providing the food and serving the hydrating the hydrating beverages.
It was the least I could do. I didn't have to buy gas, but it was a spectacular day, and it's a reminder of how we come together and why we should. I mean, my brother came along, and I thought, good thing he did, because
definitely
we needed somebody who knew what they were doing. But that's what it's all about. So I'm hoping that through that, when the people will realize how important it is, in the discussion with Swanky just earlier, food plays as much a part of our society as music.
Yeah.
And the two go hand in hand. And so this weekend, invite, your friends and family over, and make it a sincere, genuine invitation to open your heart and your home as you share from your hands what would bring us together. And participating in the public consultations with Plan Cayman, understanding the importance of volunteering in your school, your church, or your community, of simply even just not doing that thing that you do now that could be a negative consequence. Just stop doing that would be a positive start to a better society.
Agreed. And before I actually get into what
yes, sir.
I want to say, we're not going to finish today by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
But since I came on the last show and the public meetings, I've got a few private messages where social media as well as on email saying that I should run for politics.
I didn't put them up to sit up, okay? Just for the record, it was not me. Yeah.
Again, just for the record,
yeah,
I will not be standing as a candidate for next election.
Isn't it interesting, right, that we have to say that for those who, like yourself, when we do something like this, people have this notion that there's no tumor. Maybe because some people do it, but I'm glad that you share so that people see that this is an objective, intentional act, as it were, to offer up an element of, from your perspective, what you think you have. For us, it's a lot. You have the experience, you have the expertise, you have the willingness, the desire, the competence, all the things. That's why I said earlier, maybe more so take a page. But thanks for putting that on the table so people understand that you're just doing this for the good of the country. There's no ulterior motive, more than desiring, seeking public office. Me and that might be different, but we keep on guessing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to start off today's discussion, again, basically where we somewhat left off last week. Our population. Because until you get a handle on that, I think all other exercises are going to be somewhat futile. I said between 1990 and 2022, 2 years ago, our population increased from roughly 27,000 to roughly 82,000. 82,000.
Not 27.
Yeah, 27.
27.
27,000 in 1990 to 82,000 in 2022.
You shared that graphic with me. I have it in front of me. I deliberately turned it this way, so just in case. Okay. From 27,000.
From 27,000 to 82,000, more or less.
Wow.
That's over 300% increase.
Right. So if you had money in an investment, bank account, stock, or whatever, and in that short period of time, you had that sort of percentage return, that'd be good.
Yep.
A population that has, wow.
And that translates into over 9% per year in population growth. So if we look at your population basically doubling every 10 years, every decade, by the end of this decade, by 2030, we're looking to have roughly 160,000 people.
I rounded off to almost 200,000 because I think our numbers are off. But even if it isn't, even if it just doubled, that's a lot of people in a small space at a quick period of time. What does that mean for us? Infrastructure, housing, roads, schools, just providing stuff.
You name it.
Do we think we realize that? Do we understand what that means?
I do not think so.
Okay.
Because if we did, I think you would have more programs with a long-term planning horizon.
Okay. I want to ask.
But yes, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold that thought for me.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So we're looking that by 2050. That's next 28 years?
No, but close. This is 2024 and 2050.
Oh, 26 years.
Yeah. Okay.
We're looking to have we're looking to have roughly 500,000 people. 500,000 people.
If current projections continue.
Based on past events. If that current trend continues at just under 10% increase per year, your population will double every decade. So by 2040, you're looking at roughly 250,000. So you double that. By 2050, you're up to roughly 500,000.
So two things, unless you...
No. I think that is an issue that has been highlighted as one of the key challenges that the planners face. But the document does not provide any solutions to that problem.
There are... Maybe it's a time to see. You want to take the break now, Mom? All right. Okay. We got two choices. We can either take the break deliberately, or we'll take the break because she's gonna. We're gonna put us to the news, and when we come back, we'll continue the discussion.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market.
With your latest headlines, I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins. Due to the current global Microsoft IT outage, the court registries, including both the criminal and civil registries, as well as the family proceeding unit, are currently unable to print documents at this time. They are currently working to resolve the issue. For civil and family matters, users are encouraged to file and manage their cases through their digital filing platform, which can be accessed at attache.judicial.ky. In international news, the boss of cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike has admitted it could be some time before all systems are back up and running after an update from the company triggered a global IT outage. Experts are warning that it could take days for big organizations to get back to normal. Although there is now a software fix for the issue, the manual process required will take a huge amount of work, they said. The global outage has led to almost 1,400 flights being cancelled, while banking, healthcare, and shops have all been affected. Eminem has earned his 11th #1 album with the death of Slim Shady. He joins a club of Taylor Swift, David Bowie, and U2, who have also had 11 chart-topping albums. The U.S. rapper's 12th album, in which he kills off his alter ego Slim Shady, had a mixed critical reception, but that doesn't seem to have mattered this week on the charts. These are your headlines. I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Cayman Islands, your opportunity to shape our future continues. Join us for public consultations on July 18th in East End at the William Allen McLaughlin Civic Center, July 22nd in Cayman Bragg, July 25th in Savannah Newlands at the Savannah United Church, and July 29th in Northside at the Northside Civic Center. Don't forget our virtual session on July 18th on CIG Facebook and YouTube Live. All consultations will be broadcast live on Radio Cayman 89.9 FM and online at radiocayman.gov.ky. Submit your questions via slido.com. Let's work together for a sustainable future. For more details, visit plancayman.ky. Be part of the change.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet, because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Find your dream car with a Cayman National Vehicle Loan. Enjoy 100% financing, up to 8-year repayment, and a 7% fixed interest rate for the first 5 years. For eco-friendly cars, we'll waive your commitment fee. This only applies to new vehicles. Call 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
It's game time, Subway fans. We're upping our sub game with the Subway Series menu, an all-star lineup of 6 delicious recipes. Just order by name or number and we'll do the rest. Whether you're catching a quick lunch or just need a tasty victory, the Subway Series menu is coming in clutch. Subway Series, easy to order, hard to resist. Try it today, only at Subway. Eat fresh.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Mango season, you gotta love it. The Cayman Islands National Museum is pleased to feature Lukia, the family-friendly Mango Fest at the museum. Saturday, July 20th from 4 to 8 p.m. Purchase mangoes and other products by local artisans and specialty vendors. Local food, live music, mango peeling, and eating competition. Take in all the sweet and unique flavors of the long, round, Julie mango, and so many more. Lukia at the museum on the waterfront. Saturday, July 20th from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Lukia is proudly sponsored by the Cayman Islands Department of Tourism.
Did you know that there are over 300 public rights of ways to the shoreline across the 3 Cayman Islands? Now you can find them easily with the new Shoreline iMap at gov.ky/shoreline.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us. And thanks again to Mr. Kenneth Ebanks for taking some time. And as you shared, we won't get through all of the discussion, whether we'll have an opportunity before the report from your group is submitted. Hopefully, going forward, it'll be continuing opportunities for others. But take us through. I mean, we're here talking about the planning statement. Maybe someone understand that. Maybe I should ask you, why are we here? What are we talking about, and why?
No, I thought you did a good job with the introduction. So
yeah.
I think most people,
okay,
so the vast majority of persons wouldn't know why we're here.
The vast majority of
people.
There we go. I need to retrieve my people. All right.
Okay. So we have roughly 25 minutes left. So let me try and hit some highlights that, at least from my perspective.
Yes, sir.
I would like to encourage some people to call, but first and foremost, you need to read the document. It is critically important because a lot of what it says, it doesn't say, or should say, is very, very important as it relates to the future of these 3 islands.
What it says, what it doesn't say, and what it should say. You said that last time. Hopefully people understand what that is. But okay.
For example, the vision of the planning statement is to maintain and enhance the quality of life in the Cayman Islands by ensuring that development promotes the most desirable balance of economic, social, and environmental outcomes, while safeguarding the culture, health, and general welfare of its people. Maintaining and enhancing the quality of life. What's the baseline data? What quality of life do we have now?
Mm-hmm.
What matrices are they going to be using to determine the quality of life? Are they maintaining it? Are they enhancing it?
Mm-hmm.
So without that baseline data, I find it impossible to, at the end of the planning horizon, to say we maintained it or we improved it, we enhanced it.
Yeah. Not for it to be academic at this stage, but do we, in your opinion, have any of that data? Do we actually have it collated and accessible so we could go look at it? If now a question was asked, well, what's that matrix? What's that, baseline data? Mm-hmm. To your knowledge, do we have that?
No.
No?
I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think we have it.
Okay. We know countries have a happiness index. Countries do a quality of life index. So we have nothing compared to.
Correct.
Okay. At least that's it. All right. Fair enough.
And then the most desirable, well safeguarding the culture, health, and general welfare. Sorry. What about
Fishbone?
Somebody told me I should give you that piece.
But thank you for keeping it.
Yeah. But there's nothing there about historic buildings site in that vision.
Okay.
And as I say, culture is ever evolving. So how can we sort of maintain if it's continuously evolving?
Okay.
Again, as I said, and the primary objective of the plan is to maintain and enhance the economy, society, and environment, while ensuring that all development seeks to balance and integrate social, environmental, and economic considerations. When you talk about including in economic considerations in a planning decision, I wouldn't say the only how, but the best how to do that would be to do an EIA, which is an economic impact assessment.
As opposed to an environmental, yeah. Which would be synonymous to a cost-benefit analysis? Okay. All right. And I asked this prior, in our last discussion, whether when we use the word economic, are we somehow assuming that it also is synonymous with financial? Because they're very, very distinct, very different. So I wonder if we're looking at it from the financial perspective as opposed to the economic perspective.
I would want to say financial, because in the very last part of the document, it says that section 5.10, economy, ensure that all retail developments do not adversely affect the vitality and viability of other shopping centers.
That's financial.
That's financial.
Yeah, which is not the same as economic.
And I said the only how you're going to do that.
Yeah.
For example, if you wanted to open a new restaurant along 7 Mile Beach, for example, and one of the neighbors, neighboring shopping centers say, okay, I'm going to object to your application because your restaurant may impact the viability of some restaurants already in my shopping center. So now you have to go and do an economic impact assessment.
As I listen to you, there are a couple of things that almost seem, and we do have a caller.
That's good.
Let's take the caller first because, we can get discussing. Hey, welcome. Thanks very much for joining us. In the studio, we're talking about the planning statement. We have the former director of planning in his personal capacity, not a political candidate, Mr. Kenneth Ebanks, facilitating for the next week and the following 2 meetings Monday evening each, 7 to 9 p.m. in the Chapel Church of God Town Hall room, building, sanctuary, whatever it is. Okay, let's go to the phones. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Yes, good afternoon to you, Sterling Green. Good afternoon, my friend named Mr. Clydas.
Afternoon, sir.
Full initiative you have there in mind. I don't mean the political thing where he said he's not running up as a candidate. Or he isn't putting himself up. I didn't think he was going to do that anyhow. But I just said, and it's a wonderful initiative you have doing that. I've always wondered about what you're just saying too. So many businesses, the same thing, so many people in the same kind of business. For a little island, so many people doing car washing, barbering, hairdressing, whatever. I often wondered about that. Must reach a saturation point at some time. I'm going to ask a stupid question. Maybe this seems stupid, and I thought you might be the best person to answer this. Over the years, I've asked it of many people and many tourists. I'm in the business of meeting tourists. They ask me this, and they're dumb struck as I am that I can't answer them. What year?
So make it just a minute. What makes you think that I can answer if you can't answer?
Because I'm a half idiot, and I know you haven't reached that stage yet. 13 years old. The question is this: what year did Georgetown become the capital of Cayman? What year was it? I cannot get an answer from many people who in many years. I'll hang up and just listen for your answer.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Mickey, I can't remember offhand, but For my thesis, I am sure that I have it recorded someplace, but offhand I can't remember, and I wouldn't want to give an incorrect date.
Yeah. And
sorry about that. But my number is 527-1955. Give me a call and I can look into it for you, sir.
Yeah. We got something coming up. We being Ray and myself, that speaks to that. But let me leave that for now because we don't want to get distracted, given the time, and step away from the substantive issue. Again, another part of that question will speak to how readily available and accessible is information, the historical information about the country. And then secondly, how easy it is for us, to either recall or access, and as Mr. Mickers shared, your willingness to help to facilitate and then the community's participation is one, very, very crucial step in understanding your, I don't want to say reminder, your sort of projection based on this historical data that we could be looking at 500,000 people in short order.
Within the next 26 years.
Yeah.
If my math is correct.
I sent it to Susan, she's going to put it to committee to confirm. But by 2050, based on the trends to date, what if it's only 250,000? What if it's not 500,000? What if it's 1 million? I might, yeah.
No, go ahead.
To understand that number will be the number in the absence of us being conscious and deliberate as to what it should be. And if we allow it to be uncontrolled, can I use that word? It could be anything. And are we prepared for it? I was told I couldn't say ask for much. So, the cart before the horse kind of deal.
Right, because, if we don't know how many people we're going to be planning for, how do you know how much land to set aside within the various zones? For example, residential.
Yeah.
How much, if you don't know how many people you're going to be planning for, with setting aside 100 acres of additional land for residential purposes, is that sufficient?
Yeah. So that's saying if you don't know where you're going, and the road will take you there. It's kind of what we're looking at.
Yes, and so it's sort of hard to go forward. Always looking in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. I see why I like country songs. I don't want to make light of anything, but this is sobering. And do we understand what's happening?
I want to say yes.
Okay.
I want to say yes because if we're not conscious of what's happening, that means that, and when I say we, I'm talking about the
collective we.
Yes. We either don't care and we just want to get as much as we can financially out of the current situation.
And this is why, very deliberately, and recognizing, perhaps not fully, that it may offend many without them taking a second to ask why. One very, very admirable lady, she used the phrase, bunch of carpetbaggers. And as we listen to her, it's not a term I was familiar with. It's not a complimentary term. But I understood over the years what she was trying to say. You can't be coming, extracting, and then leaving, irrespective of who you are. The society is like a piggy bank. You got to put something in for there to be something to take out. We've just been taken out. And we're doing it in an irreversible way that it's not just the physical, space, the environmental considerations, the societal implications, the political ramifications, and our people as they age and as they're born are negatively impacted by it. Is that sufficient? I mean, is that what is happening?
I would want to say yes.
Okay.
Wholeheartedly. But again, we just seem to be only concerned with, the next 4 years, next year, just tomorrow, not about what's happening or will happen down the road if we don't take the necessary actions today.
All right. I was trying hard to recall something that the late Burns Conley was sharing with me. I think he was a great architect and the like. We had some engaging discussions that were more academic. You used the word zoning, and in the Cayman context, we know that over here you can do this, and then there are different sort of like residential. You've got high density, low, medium, and neighborhood commercial, and this and this and this. So what is zoning? What does that mean? And is there another thing that is at play in the Cayman context? But what does zoning mean in terms of the urban planner, the planning laws and regulations?
Well, it's sort of developed as well in response to, again, trying to safeguard people's health primarily. Because what was happening is a lot of diseases were being spread within communities, and because you found that sort of industrial developments was very close to.
We're not talking about in the Cayman context. We're talking the historical, global sort of. Right. Okay.
Yeah. So okay. Well, the best thing to do then would be to separate those uses. Then after a while, I found well, okay, well, if you keep separating those uses, then we're going to be left with no choice but to rely totally on the automobile, because we got just commercial here, let's say educational over here, residential in between. So to get from residential, from where you live to where you work, you have to use a car or a vehicle. To get from home to school, you have to use
some means of conveyance, right?
Right.
Okay.
So the strategy. Okay. Now what we can do is to do some mixed uses, so that we can cut down on those number of trips, cut down the number of roads that we need to build, or railroad tracks, or whatever the case may be.
Right. So we would see, say, older societies and civilizations, and even say Europe, we had people who, in this little space, all those activities were within, walkable distance, easier commute, bicycle or horse or whichever. But how does that then play into, say, the agriculture use, as opposed to maybe heavy industrial? So that was over here. That's where the safety of the people came into play, that runoff from the farm or from the industry affecting the groundwater supply or the health and well-being of the residential area.
Well, again, if you look at the older settlement pattern within the islands, you'll find these little grocery stores, especially, right in the heart of most of those communities. Again, they didn't have much choice but either walk, donkey, horse, bicycle, and slowly, a vehicle.
Right.
The farmland, again, was always somewhat sort of on the outskirts.
Okay.
Was that by accident or by choice? I would say no, because that's probably where most of the better arable lands were located.
Okay. And even to that now, we understand a lot of those arable lands, even over the water tables, in the Cayman Islands, we're now constructing things other than using it for agriculture purposes.
Yes, we had the waterlands in East End, North Side, the Lower Valley, and out here on Walker's Road. Walker's Road is more or less gone. The one in Lower Valley is about the same in terms of the quality of the groundwater. The one in North Side is probably just about. The only one left now is in East End that is of some readily available use.
Yeah. And again, this informs this discussion. We're talking about food security being national security, but if we either don't know the available arable lands or take conscious measures to protect those lands in order to do other things, what happens? But can I then sort of
okay, just on that point?
Yes.
The document does say that the plan is to protect the most suitable land, which is Class 1 and Class 2. Those are the two better agricultural type lands.
Right. I understand from those who were much older back in the mid-70s when we were talking about a development plan, sharing that there were some people, and like I said, I only go by what I was told, so I don't know, maybe through you and others we'll get a better understanding of the historical record, that there were people who said, well, you can't tell me what to do with my land. And the idea was, well, listen, we should do these things here because it makes better use and it's good. Was that kind of an argument or discussion that was taking place then?
Yes. And I think one of the biggest issues for the 75 development plan was when they were saying that in the agricultural lands, it should be one house per 5 acres.
Yes.
Yeah, that and cutting a canal sort of in the vicinity there now of Raid Bay that would link South Sound and North Sound. Yeah,
right.
A notable gentleman from West Bay, when they were saying that would make the island stronger. You tell me, if you cut me in two, you'll make me stronger.
All right. So that was true, huh? But this is where sometimes we forget what was said, shared, the wisdom, maybe even sometimes just the vitriol. But with that, fast forward to today, is there a similar thing at play where potential people might be saying, but wait a minute, you still won't tell me what to do with my land? And I'm not trying to be inflammatory. I just share this to come back to something. But could that be part of the issue why maybe more now needs to be involved and informed and ensure that what is presented is an accurate reflection of the intent of society?
Yes, that is still the case.
Okay.
And it will continue to be the case.
Okay.
However, the courts have ruled that that is a legitimate thing that government can do. The courts, not only locally but internationally.
But that's usually, but I should ask, is that usually as a result of the government bringing some proceeding before the court as opposed to private individuals?
In most jurisdictions, it sort of happen both ways.
Okay.
Government want to do this, or a private citizen wanting to say, okay, I've had my land for generations. We've always done this, and you're going to tell me I can't do that anymore.
Right. So they're trying to protect that right. Now, I understand, and I'll wait to speak to my attorney better so I get a better for our next discussion. Our legislation relative to land usage and land ownership is such that we own it private and absolute. We pretty much got a good title to it. And once we're doing whatever the legislation allows to be done on that, not very much other than the government can stop you from doing it. Is that a overstatement?
Not really, because me as a neighbor, depending on what you want to do, you have to notify me of your intentions.
Right.
And I have the right to object to your intent, or your intention, how you want to develop your property.
But if it's within that allowable thing, then the chances are that thing to which you're applying would probably be approved.
And if you go to higher courts, you'll probably uphold the decision of the CPA or the Development Control Board.
Right. So I guess if I understand it, just to repeat it, the person who has a property, private and absolute, wants to do something that the planning law and regulations allow, even with objections from surrounding people, probably will still be allowed to do that thing. There might be some adjustments just to make it a little bit more palatable, but it would probably be allowed. The chances of it not being, even through the higher courts, very slim.
Very slim.
Okay.
And I mean, for example, you own a car, a vehicle.
Yeah.
You keep it in your yard. You don't take it out on the public road. And what you do then is you put these nice blue, red lights in the front. You can get up in the middle of the night, turn them on, and look at them.
Yeah.
You're happy. However, it will be illegal for you to take that vehicle and drive it on a public road because it doesn't comply with the road code.
Right. Your personal enjoyment of that is cool as long as you don't do it there. But I also gather, not to maybe even conflict or confound people, even worse with this, but you're doing something in your space. There's just here talk about public nuisance and private nuisance. If you're doing that thing on your property, maybe those lights are on all the time, and somebody say, "Boys, there could be an intervention in the courts."
Because now you being in nuisance.
Yeah.
And the current law and regulations
right.
speak to that.
Right. So separate and apart from that, if you want to build a duplex on your piece of land, maybe I shouldn't use that word because there's a legal connotation, but put two structures on your land and it's allowed on it. Somebody might like it. You can like it, you can lump it. Once you comply with everything, you're good to go.
You're good to go.
All right. I want to ask that, and perhaps through you reminding the public to come on Monday evening. Was it 7 to 9 p.m.?
7 to 9 p.m. at the West Bay Chapel on Town Hall Road. Please come because government has extended the deadline for submission of your feedback from the 31st of July until the 6th of August.
You have a week extra.
A week extra.
But you had shared that the meeting this coming Monday, the 22nd.
22nd.
And then the following Monday, the 29th, would be where you put it all together with a view to having it submitted on the 31st. Now that you have an extra week, is that still the intent that the 29th would be the final sort of processing and collation and what have you?
That is still the intent.
Okay. Never too late. If you haven't attended the meetings, you can still come along, but read the document first. Come and listen and perhaps contribute after.
And at this meeting, we hope to go through sections 4 and 5, the two last sections. So if you haven't read anything else, read those two because that's what we'll be discussing next Monday night.
I know many of us do not like to read. Many of us like to read, but we don't understand, but we're too bigoted to say we don't. Some of us read things that are poorly written. And I'm not speaking about anything, I'm just generalizing because I enjoy reading, right? And I have my dictionary handy. And I call you sometimes and ask, what does that mean? That's what you do to learn. God, my brothers are there, I can call them too. This document, despite your expertise, your education, a fairly easy read, you think?
Again, it depends how you define easy, but no, generally, if you go through it, yes, it's fairly easy. We just pick up on some of the key terms and words. Because, for example, it says that the CPA will be responsible for providing facilities. No, the CPA is not in the business of providing facilities like hospitals, schools, daycare centers. They are in the business of setting aside the land on which those facilities are built.
Okay, so I asked myself after reading it, and this is what I come away with. The words themselves and the flow of the text, I can read and pronounce the words, so it's easier to read. But looking at the words and trying to draw an inference, and like you talk about the quality of life measure, maintain and provide, I thought, well, if we don't have something. So in the analysis led me to a number of questions that led to more questions. So the reading of the document was relatively easy, the understanding somewhat, but the almost innumerable questions after, which is why I think what you're trying to set about with your group is invaluable. And I'm hoping that more people will not shy away just because they don't understand. That's the best way to learn.
Yes. And
all right. Sorry, sir.
No.
Yeah, she was saying pull a line in. Talk about the school.
You're gonna have to call for backup because
that's a big fish fry. All right.
You have a 6-year-old.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. All right. Closing thoughts. I do thank you again publicly for yielding that time for lovers to speak to Swanky as they go on their world tour. Because according to the US, they play football and it's the World Series, although it's not really football, but they call it that. Or they play baseball and it's the World Series, but it's only them playing. But that's a different story. So,
I probably need to come back at least one more time, Dwayne.
I was thinking twice.
Twice?
It was so good. You do it, Okay. So we'll have you back on. I'll give you some options after the show if you got a second. You had shared that the space is fairly large and a number of people can still attend. If you live in this country and whether you're from the Bracken, you're visiting, the invitation is for all to attend. 7 p.m. this Monday evening at the Church of God Chapel in the West Bay, Pastor Stan's Church, next to the Old Town Hall, which is another library, not far from, they can find it. All right?
Yep.
All right. Thanks very much, sir. I appreciate you letting me laugh because if I get in trouble, I can say, boy, it's all in good jest. All right. Thank you, Miss Susan. And to all, Monday morning, enjoy Mr. Orrit. Always enjoy listening to him. Come back for talk today. I'm going to go and get me some dark chocolate and sea salt. That's the plan. All right. All the best.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of the District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama.
The music
and
of your
Doctors
life.
Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
This is The Breeze, the music of your life.